beautiful soul family. I have been guided to deliver a light language transmission to help us all to remove any obstacles that we may be facing in any area of our lives at this time. For this particular transmission, I am invoking and inviting in Lord Ganesh to be present with us. Some also call him Vinayak. We are calling upon him now to come through with his beautiful, calm, unconditional, loving presence and essence and assist us all in lifting off any blockages, any stuck and stagnant energy, and removing and helping and assisting us to step into our own power so that we may overcome any obstacles that we may be facing at this time. Ganesh was the son of Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati, and he has a very interesting story. So he was known as Vinayak, and later down the track he was given the name Ganesh once he had his head replaced with the head of an elephant. And the story of that is that Shiva had gone away for a long time and Parvati was alone, and during that time she was asked by the other deities to bring to life and birth a child that was going to be Vignaharta, meaning he was going to remove obstacles. He was going to cleanse and purify all blockages, all roadblocks, all stagnant energy from the planet. And only the energies of Shiva and Shakti had the kind of urja, the kind of energy that could produce this kind of a child. And obviously Shiva not being there, Mata Parvati was able to cultivate this energy within herself. She didn't even have to have physical intercourse. Just their energy and intention alone was able to manifest whatever they decided to put their energy towards. So she created Vinayak, and as she went into deep meditation, she asked Vinayak to stand in front of the cave where she was meditating and make sure that nobody else could come in. Make sure that he was stopping everybody because she was going through a deep healing, a deep cleansing, a deep purification process, and she did not want to be disturbed in that process. And so upon her going into that deep state of meditation and healing, Shiva had returned back to Kailash, back to his home, and he obviously wanted to see his wife. He had not seen her in a very long time. He wanted to reconnect with his twin flame, with his love, with his mirror, with his counterpart. And as he approached the cave to actually go see Parvati, Ganesh, or Vinayak at the time, was standing in front of the cave, and he did not allow Shiva to go in. And of course, he was actually doing the right thing because he was fulfilling his mother's orders with diligence and discipline. However, in this process of stopping Shiva from coming through, Shiva obviously got very disturbed, very angry and frustrated with Vinayak. And there was also an element of ego. There was a very unhealthy ego that was emanating from Vinayak at this time. And Shiva got mad, got very angry, and he ended up throwing his Trishul and he cut off Vinayak's head. He separated the ego and the disillusion from Vinayak. Now, once Mata Parvati emerged from her meditative state and saw her son had been practically killed, she was distraught, she was angry, she was frustrated, she was just absolutely disorientated, and she said, I want you to bring my son back to life. He's our son, he was following my orders. How could you do this? Obviously she was a mother, so she was really experiencing the loss of her child, her beloved son. And Shiva obviously couldn't put his head back together, he couldn't revive him in that way. So he sent his other deities and find the first animal that they would come across that was willing to give part of their body in service to humanity, in service to the greater good. And they came across an elephant who was previously already given the boon that they would serve to help to liberate humanity. They would serve God's mission, they would serve the divine. And this animal freely and willingly gave its head, and obviously it was an elephant. And once this head was placed upon Vinayak's body and he was revived, he was given the name Ganesh. He was the remover of obstacles, Vignaharta. He was given the boon that Before anyone commenced prayer, he would be the first deity that would be prayed to invoke blessings, to invoke all types of abundance, prosperity, peace, calmness, strength, and high vibrational energies of unconditional love into the space prior to commencing any prayer. So that is the significance behind why in the Hindu tradition many people pray to Ganesh first prior to commencing their other prayers to the other deities. And obviously once he had lost his ego self and the disillusion, then he came into a state of complete purity. He came into a state of oneness with his inner child, with all aspects of life. He now had an animal and a human as a body, so there was no longer any separation or segregation. He came into a state of unity consciousness. And we all know that animals are some of the most purest species on this earth. They're highly intellectual, highly intuitive, highly awake, highly connected to the divine and to the spirit of Mother Nature and the oneness of all things. So he was able to fuse all these aspects of himself and all the aspects of the multidimensional universe and become one with everything. And so this is why Lord Ganesh has such a beautiful energy about him, because it is about unity consciousness. It is about oneness. He embodies that. He carries that energy. He had a very light and humorous, kind of like fluffy, cute inner child vibe about him. And he always did things in the highest good without hurting people's feelings, without hurting other people around him. He always considered how they would feel. He did things with calm strength. That was his strength, to be in a state of calmness before he took any action, to be in a state of balance and alignment, integrity and equilibrium. For some people, this story will be mythical and magical. For others, it will be a metaphor. And for some, it will feel like an analogy, but however you perceive it and receive it is best for you at this time. And if you just take it in a very, very literal sense, that it is about removing your ego and coming into a state of oneness and removing the separation consciousness so that you can unite with yourself on all levels and therefore unite with spirit and the oneness of all things on all levels, then that is what this story truly signifies. So with this particular transmission, I am asking Lord Ganesh to help us all come into a state of unity, oneness, balance, alignment, harmony, calm, strength, integrity, and to act from that space. And also to help us to remove all of our obstacles, remove any lingering ego that may be not serving us to our highest good, and removing any reactivity, so that we can move forward freely on our journey with ease, with knowing, with intuition, with grace, and with pure positive energy. Before we begin, I would invite you to set the intention and ask. Simply ask, fam, and you shall receive. I know that there is a taboo around asking. I know that we've been programmed and conditioned to feel like asking is selfish. But when you ask directly to source, to the Creator, to Spirit, to God, to the source of all creation, the Creator wants you to ask, wants you to take the initiative to ask for what it is that you wish to receive, because only then you will be gifted and you will be blessed with what you are asking for. So ask for the healing that you need at this time. Ask and pray. The best way to ask is to pray about what it is that is blocking you at this time, which obstacles you are going through that need to be removed. Simply ask for the strength to overcome them. Ask for the patience to get through it. Ask for the power, the courage, the discipline, the determination, and the motivation that it takes to get through whatever it is that you are going through. And I assure you, you will get to the other side and you will be a stronger, more powerful, radiant, aligned, harmonious, and unified being than ever before. So with that said, you guys, I'm going to get into this transmission. Simply take a deep, slow breath in. And take a few moments to set your intention for today's practice. You may do this in prayer position. You may even write it down or speak it out loud. It is up to you. Pause this video if you need more time, but when you feel like you are done, we shall begin.
Istana ashtarako, istana rokoto shto, urya tatasta takera katanashta kitira, urja hanastera toshtukuto, inata istikti vigna hartaste shtorakuto, vinayaka trasata koshti trikatisto shtoro toto, urgata sarakate shturkote staratata, haraka Ganesha Radha Ustinini Harakateshta Shiva Shakti Radha Soro Turukutistakata Hananane Kara Koshto Ukutusu Ukutustu Kurukus Tukutushtoru Tustoru Kastanini Nini Narakata Sinini Antakare Ustinini Harakatosturi Urkatashtununu Uryata kastinini nata urjata starakatoshti iti rotosto toto taka 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 Triakatike soro toshtina tradisina no kotorgoshti ratate rakatastero nusturia katatata Hinanadasta katošturo to starati ira kataku Urya kata sanashti nikitira sata harahashti kiti hare 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 ustana kata rakisina kata gangara kata pusti kata stina ganapataye astu kushturya kata Nakatana pujaniya karakistiri tishtara katuya takase Anakatara kata sanatantra katushturya tatakitira Hare 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 kusturyata Hare 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 katurya sakatashturya tata Dasturya hananakashtira katusturyu tukutushturu kutukusturu 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 Hinanakaste harakata Istarakatasti Rakashtina Kusuryu tu Sturyo Kutushtaraka Surya Udestarakitisti Neshti Haratestarakatushta Kuljarasti Rakatistoroshni Nikiti Tarakasti Tarakata Kuljarasti Rakatusti Rakata Nanakashtiraka Anakarakatisti Kitirishta Nakaturu Kutukustu Rakshakarekatista Nakatera Tushtu Rakatustena bal tarakastena na buddhis trakasaktarik tishni kata jnanam trako surya tata ira kata sturushtu rupastera kata ishturya tatase